I want to bring avocados, put it on the table, and have us try all these avocados so we can rate them.
Yeah.
And see if they're worth having or not.
Yeah.
Pokey Red.
Okay, Pahokee Red.
And this is called Thai #1.
Oh.
Oh, Walden.
Oh! I've been dying to try a Walden.
So tell everybody the improved pollen versus the Florida pollen. Taste-wise, season-wise, and production-wise, what's the difference?
Over here we got a interesting one. This is a seedling that no human being has ever tried this before.
So it was a first for all of us.
It's the first for all of us. And it has a small seed to flesh ratio.
Hello everybody, welcome to Fruitful Trees. It is avocado season. I just picked this right off my tree. And this is a Catalina. There's so many different varieties of avocados out now. And so many you haven't even heard of yet. And today on the show, I'm going down to my friend at Sleepy Lizard Avocado Farm, Tom. And he's going to be joined by Julian from Lara Farms, Miami. And we already did this about a month ago with early season avocados. We must have tasted 30 different types. Well, now we're going to be tasting mid-season avocados, and we're going to have a great time tasting all these avocados. It's amazing. I'm going to put their links below if you want to get some of these, and here we go.
Hey, look who's here.
What's up, buddy?
Welcome, Paul. Thanks for coming.
The three amigos.
That's right.
Since the last time we were here was 2 weeks ago, and we were right in the transition of the season. So last time we were more towards the earlier season.
Yeah, Donnie Simmons.
This is the mid-season ones now.
Yeah, this is mostly mid-season.
Mostly.
You know, picked on the early side of the mid-season, because mid-season is really September, October, November, and we're in September. We're
Well
already
into September.
deep into September.
Yeah.
So these are viable. These are the correct size, and these are all viable. And most importantly, they should taste good.
Yeah.
And you know, one thing I've realized, the longer the avocado is ripe, like say it ripened today, and then we eat it tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, the more softer and watery it gets. Some less than others. Some more stay dense for a long time, and some just like melt away like butter.
So let me ask you this, because my neighbor has an avocado tree and he doesn't know what it is. So I told him, because of Tom's advice, the best way you know is, you know, it takes time. You got to pick it and see if it'll ripen or not ripen. So he took one off and he gave it to me, and it didn't ripen. It kind of got crumbly. That means he picked it too early.
Yes.
And okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
to identify it, you first have to know when to pick it. So that will knock out all the ones what it
A good
isn't.
indicator to know when to pick it when you don't know is wait until the first one falls
Yeah.
and write down the date, and then wait for the second one to fall and write down the date. And next thing you know, if you have 2 or 3 in the ground, that's probably time to pick, unless we had a storm blow by.
Yeah, somewhere get out of that. Yeah, obviously, yeah.
So let's take a rundown of all the names.
Let's go.
Okay.
Okay, so we got here Gilberto. What do you got over there?
Where?
Over there, what's that one?
Oh, sorry. I got a Marcus Pumpkin, which I've been dying to try. People ask me about Marcus Pumpkin all the time.
Don't get your hopes up.
All right. Okay. All right.
What we got here?
This is a booth. This is a booth 8.
Booth 8.
Okay.
All right, then over here we got a interesting one. This is a seedling that no human being has ever tried this before. It's a new variety. I have no idea how it tastes like, and it's from Truck. And it's a tree planted as a seedling.
Oh, it's not a failed
It's
graft.
not a filled graft like the Apmay. This is an intentional seedling that was planted in the ground.
Documented what it was.
No label whatsoever. It was just
So no
a
knowledge
seedling.
of the seed, and they didn't purposely try to
Well, I don't
pollinate
know.
it.
I don't know what the backstory is,
Yeah.
but it's a seedling that was planted intentionally as a seedling
Wow.
because it was not a field graft.
Oh,
So I just
okay.
called it Trek, whatever. Trek.
All right. I'll be looking forward to try that.
Okay.
And then Paul had a booth 8. Hold that up, Paul. The booth 8 that you had. So this is a booth 7. So I'm guessing same nursery cultivated these.
Booth has like up to like 20 plus different varieties.
Yeah.
And they all start from 1 to 22.
So they don't have a marketing department. They don't come up with fancy
It's
names.
like George Foreman named all his kids George.
The booth 1, the booth 2, the booth 3. Got it. Got it.
All right. So what do you got?
I'm excited about this. It's another Russell. Now we had Russell last time, right?
Yes, we did.
But did we open it? We didn't.
We
open
did,
it.
and it was delicious.
Yeah,
Oh, we
we
did?
did. Yeah. Well, actually,
No, not here.
We did it. You sent me
I'll
home with it.
I sent you home with it. But the ones I had, we were questioning whether they were pure Russell or whether it was like a seedling of a Russell. I don't know if you remember, because they were kind of small and they turned more yellow. They didn't have that big fatness, and they didn't stay green.
No,
So-
this is a real Russell.
Okay.
It's probably like a runt.
Gotcha.
This is
Okay.
the last one of the year
Yeah.
from my tree. There was no more.
Yeah.
And you can see the rats were biting off of it a little bit here, nibbling.
Yeah.
That was the last one on my tree.
Well,
and I've
the
had
rest-
ones that are huge.
The
one you
Russells are
sent
the
me
size of
home
a
with
bowling pin.
was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
The one you sent me home with.
Top notch.
Yeah,
Top
really
notch.
good.
Russell is top notch
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Okay, and then here we got a similar. This is our house variety called Lara Number 1. It's a seedling selection my dad made back in the '90s, and it's the last one of the year. It's the smallest one is the runt, but they get even bigger than Russell,
Yeah, you've given me them. Yeah.
and they're dense.
Yeah.
and they're delicious.
Yeah, if I knew how to show a picture, I have a picture here on the computer of a Russell and a Lara, and you could see it's just a monster. It's a whopper.
All right. So what else we got?
Oh, well, we got, I think you told me this is Hyalea red right here.
Is it soft?
It's soft.
It's ready.
We're ready to eat
Okay.
it, which I want to try one of these because I have a tree. I got one little fruit. It fell off premature this season.
See, look at that. See how red that gets?
Gorgeous. Looks like an apple from
Yeah.
the top.
Yeah.
I mean, a huge apple, but looks like
It
an
gets
apple from the
completely
top.
red, but I think I picked it too early because it's a mid-season.
What's that?
Well, that's the Trek.
Oh,
That's the one I
Trek
mentioned, yeah.
Okay. Here's a black one.
Oh, I think that's a Martha.
Martha.
Marta. It's not Martha.
Okay.
Marta.
All right.
So, does this turn black when it's...
It was blushing black on the tree, so that's why I picked it. Is it soft?
Yeah.
Ready to cut? It didn't turn completely black. It was blushing black hard
Yeah.
on the tree.
Yeah.
And I picked it thinking it's going to turn completely black.
So,
but
Yeah.
from my experience, tell me if I'm wrong. If it has black in the name, it usually means it turns black when it gets ripe.
yeah, I would think so.
Because I just had a Maria black, which just ripened and it wouldn't have been no good today.
Right.
I have an exception.
I
Black,
just had it.
black print.
Doesn't turn black.
Black print stays green.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
All right. So here, look at this guy. Looks like a baseball.
It does, or it looks like a little persimmon or something.
Yeah, like a soft green softball.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's called Peterson.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
It's
cool.
just, I found this one at Trek.
That's cool.
Most of these are from my collection, but also a lot of these are from Trek. This one I've never heard of. I think I've heard of it, but I've never really paid attention to it because it's small and no one ever asked for this at the farm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Peterson, this one's ready to eat.
And when Julia mentions TREC, that's TREC. That's the University of Florida Tropical Research
And
Education Center. And they've got grad school students living over there working, researching tropical fruits, how to make them better, new varieties, how to fight disease, all kinds of things.
They're inoculating avocados with laurel wilt.
Yeah, yeah.
They're inoculating citrus with what do you call it? Citrus greening.
Yeah.
They're doing all kinds of experiments over there.
And then they do the research and kind of spoon feed the stuff out to us, the growers.
Right.
And that's how it trickles into the industry, into the economy.
Right, and vice versa. Whenever I find something that's worth preserving, because I believe in the more people that have it, the more secure that variety is.
Yeah.
Because if Trek has it, I have it, you have it,
Right.
he has it,
Right.
Food Spice Park has it,
Right.
Chapman Field has it on Old Cutler Road. There's less chance of that thing disappearing out of history.
Yeah, yeah. So, and that's right across the street, by the way.
Yeah,
If you have a good golf swing, you could hit a drive from my farm into their farm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's practically across the street from
Yeah. Yep.
What's that?
This one I also found at Trek, and it's called VW. So I brought this for the Mr. VW
What?
man here. Who
What?
loves VWs. Yeah.
Get out of here.
That's
Let me
the
see
name.
that one.
It's not Volkswagen. It just says VW.
For those of you who haven't seen, I have a couple of VW vans, the old hippie buses. Oh, I want to try this guy.
Yeah, and I put it in the fridge, and it looks like it did not like being in the
You
fridge.
could see that.
Because
Yeah.
this is not a coloration, a natural coloration.
No.
This is like cell damage.
Yeah, and it's like speckled and yeah,
So
yeah.
it doesn't like being in the cold,
Yeah.
unlike most avocados.
Yeah, with the
Do you have a reed anywhere, or is that a late
It's too early for reed, and they're too small. Tonnage.
tonnage?
Yep. Tonnage. I tried for the first time this week. I got a bunch of them back here. I'm gonna make some guacamole.
It's like a super long neck lula.
Yeah, exactly.
What it looks like
an oversized lula, and they're delicious, absolutely delicious. Did I bring up Brogdon yet?
No.
Okay, Brogdon. This is the one you could eat the skin. You could eat this like an apple, just chew right through it, and it's one of my top 3. It's one of the most delicious avocados I've ever tasted.
What's that?
Cassiano. I think you mentioned that one already. Or
I'm
did you?
surprised. You and me did earlier,
okay.
but I'm surprised he even grabbed that one with how much it looks like a Donnie.
Yeah. All right, let's see what else we got here. Okay, this one's called Niagara. Don't be confused with Viagra.
No.
Niagara. N-Y-A-G-A. Niagara. Which is,
You know, I have a Catalina. Do you have any here?
too early.
No, Catalina.
Well,
Yeah, no, they're all right.
over here, my trees are still too small
Yeah.
on my trees.
No, mine are doing good. And in fact, I have a Catalina in the kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you should bring it.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
we got it.
Catalina is nice.
I'll run and get
Yeah,
it.
Catalina is a good mid-season.
Well, Catalina is hugely popular here in Miami. It's the Cuban variety.
It's the Cuban variety.
People brought it over from Cuba and
That's right.
planted it in their yards, and
You know, there's an avocado from Cuba that's super popular, but it has disappeared. It's just disappeared out of
Really?
history. It's called Garcia,
Really,
and Garcias are just like a Russell, it's super long neck.
you're kidding?
Yeah.
Oh, is there a towel over there by you?
And there's Garcias 1, 2, and 3, and they're all gone. No, everybody asked for it, and I tell them, hey, that's just no one has it. It doesn't exist.
Wow.
Here's a Tito.
Tito has become a really popular avocado out of Puerto Rico.
Oh yeah. Here's one I was looking for a second ago when you mentioned dense avocados that actually last for a couple days.
Yeah.
Pollock.
Oh, yeah.
So, unlike the joke that's like not ready, ready too late. A Pollock avocado, actually, you have a few days window that you could eat these guys. You know what I mean? They kind of,
Stay dense.
3-4 days you could still eat them.
Here?
No, someone came and bought all of them.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, someone came to the farm and said, "I want the whole lot."
Of your fruit?
Yeah.
Wow.
Of the Lara Farms.
Now, so tell everybody the improved Pollock first or Laura Pollock. Taste-wise, season-wise, and production-wise, what's the difference?
Production-wise, it's a lot better than Pollock. Season-wise, I think Pollock is early,
Yeah.
and then Lara Pollock is mid-season.
Yeah.
Taste-wise, I think they're the same. I think they have the same quality. I may be a little bit biased, but I think the Lara Pollock may be a little bit better.
And this is tiny for a Pollock, by the way.
Pollocks are
These get to, like,
ginormous.
twice this size.
Ginormous, yeah.
Tom, are you making guacamole now?
Yes, I am.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'll do whatever you want. Like as far as
I just want to taste the avocados sliced.
okay, which we'll
No,
We did
do.
last time.
Which we'll do. I just have all these tonnage back here,
Okay.
and so I'm just
so
I'm
you're
just
making
gonna
a guacamole.
yeah I'm just gonna fire them up. Just make a little guac with them since we've got so
Very
many.
good. Oh, I know this one. This one's called Super Big Avocado.
Yeah, let me help you lift
Mr.
that
Big,
up.
Mr. Big.
This one is some budwood I got from Alex at Tropical Acres a long time ago, but I lost the name. But the only thing I know about it is that it's a Mexican avocado or a Mexican hybrid because when you crunch up the leaves and smell it, it smells like licorice. I have a variety like that, but it's different than the one he gave me. But I don't know the name, and it makes very small fruit.
Is that the one you call anise?
The one I call anise.
Yeah.
The anise makes like a cucumber-shaped fruit.
Yeah, I've got one in the Grove, and I can't walk by it. I can't walk by it without crumbling a leaf
Yeah,
and actually chewing on it. They
Really?
taste like black licorice. Yeah,
Really?
they have the smell and the flavor.
That's one thing I did not do yet. Is
Yeah.
chew on the leaf.
Yeah, you
And
can taste it.
Come Monday, that's what I'm going to do
Yeah.
first thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do you think?
I think
Think it might taste good? Well, it'll be the first one we cut open.
Find out.
even if it does, though, it's like, look how small it is.
Well, let's see if there's any more
Well,
that we
try
haven't.
it. Just some Alex. Give me the knife.
There you go, Paul.
Let's try it.
This one is called Lisiano.
Never heard of
Oh,
it.
Lisiano, yeah, Lisiano. Never heard of it. That's what I want to do. I want to bring avocados, put it on the table, and have us try all these avocados so we can rate them
Yeah.
and
out.
see if they're worth having or not.
Yeah.
That's a
Well,
big
it's-
seed.
Let me see.
Big seed.
It actually is for the size. It looks like a little toy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Now,
show everybody closely here.
Those kids are having a blast.
Yeah. Yeah, our viewers, I think, are tolerant. They're you know.
This is a family show.
They like our family style, yeah.
This is a family show.
Yeah. And as much as I'd love to, I'm probably never going to have perfect audio and perfect lighting.
One day I would love to have like a little studio audience.
Yeah.
But not really in a studio, but like, you know, maybe outdoors have like a whole bunch of people sitting down watching us and getting a live applause and some cheers.
So we don't have a name for this guy. This is the seedling you got from Alex.
Correct.
Okay. And was it
have
a
the
seedling?
It's some budwood I got from Alex.
Okay, so he grew it as a grafted tree also.
Right. He has it in his collection. He gave it to me for a reason. He liked it.
That's nice. Nutty.
Yeah.
Nutty. And there's no name to it, or you can't remember the name.
I lost the name.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully Alex is watching and you can identify.
I'm eating the skin. You can eat the skin.
Yeah.
You can eat the skin.
I'm eating the skin.
You can eat the skin.
Yeah. You don't even taste it.
Let me ask, can you eat the skin?
You can eat the skin.
Yeah. I think you can eat the skin.
I'm getting a little bit of Lula flavor off of this guy, too. That's nice.
Pahokee red.
Okay, Pahokee red.
And this is called Thai #1.
Oh. Is it from Thailand?
Thai, as in Thailand, yeah. It's called Thai, as like THAI.
Mm-hmm.
Thai #1. And there's 2, 3, 4 also, but this is #1, so I just decided to bring #1. Oh, Walden.
Oh, I've been dying to try a Walden.
Got 2 Waldens.
And this is the one people want the seed for rootstock.
Yeah. It's a very expensive rootstock nowadays.
Well, we ship them out to California, right? The Hass Farms have a demand on them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a very good rootstock.
Yeah.
But basically, any seed that the rootstock is strong and pretty
Yeah.
will make a fine rootstock for any avocado.
Yeah.
But this has a little root fungus resistance.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when the seedling germinates and grows, it's the thickness of a pencil automatically, as you know, from the get-go. So you can graft on it
Yeah.
right away. Some avocados don't do that.
That makes a lot of sense because a buddy of mine who's got a lot, like my buddy's got like over 1,000 acres. He exports Walden seeds to the house growers. Yeah.
Let me tell you, you must be getting paid a lot of money because they're very scarce.
He's got a house in the Keys. He's doing all right.
Yeah.
He's doing all right.
So do you notice we don't have any Hass avocados here? Nothing from California. For those that complain that Florida avocados don't taste well, I'm telling you, these are delicious.
I can't remember if I brought it up on the last stream with you guys, but I was talking with Brandon from Robert is here a couple weeks ago. Our sons play football together. Actually, my sons spent the weekend at their house. He's over there now. And we were talking about Florida avocados versus Hass, and he brought up a great point. He goes, you know, Hass is the anomaly. Like, the Hass would look weird here. You know, like this is what avocados kind of look like, right? Yeah. And then the Hass is like this weird little, you know, kind of looks a little like these tonnage, you know, but a lot smaller, wrinkly, darker.
Got this from truck.
And, but it's 95% of the commercial market. Yeah. So these are the ones that look like the anomalies when in fact the Hass is the one that's very different.
Yeah, and let's pretend this is a Hass, and this compared to this is gonna be a lot of money compared to this.
Yeah.
So I guess for marketing reasons they chose Hass because they can sell you 3 Hass for $1.
Yeah.
And you won't, you know.
Yeah, people tell me all the time I pay 79 cents for an avocado. It's, yeah, you're paying for a 4-ounce avocado.
Right. Right.
Ours are 3 pounds.
The tricky thing with the big ones is if you go to the supermarket, very rarely, like we discussed last time, they pick them so soon that they have no flavor.
Yeah.
And sometimes you might get one that tastes well, but most of the times you won't. So if you're going to spend $5 on an avocado like this, it's a big disappointment if you open it up. And it also gives Florida avocados a bad name because we think, oh, those Florida avocados are too watery.
Yeah.
Which I even thought before I started tasting all these other ones. And I'm like, that's absolutely not the case. Unless you get a Donnie, they're all amazing. Yeah.
And if you looked at the label, what you're calling a Florida avocado is most likely a Dominican avocado.
Dominican avocado, but it's
still West Indian.
But they're all great if but
the issue ain't the variety. The issue is that it was picked in Santo Domingo and transported and chilled and gassed and heat treated and everything.
Now,
Here we
you
go.
can find all of these avocados. I want to remind everybody that's watching, especially my viewers that are watching. Julian has something called a variety box of avocados, where he has many of these different types of varieties that you can order and put in one box. Tom has particular varieties that he sells the whole box. It's not a variety box. But a lot of you that might be watching, especially my viewers, might be thinking, that sounds great, but where in the world could I get those? So their websites, we'll put them below the stream, but definitely check them out.
Yeah, LaraFarmsMiami.com if you don't.
And
No,
guacfarm.com.
The tree, the budwood,
GUACFAR.
and third season the avocado. So this is tonnage.
This is a tonnage. And what I would like to explain while we're having the tonnage, there's a reason Julian offers a variety and mine are more, one variety at a time. And that's because I'm more focused on the fruit. I'm a commercial fruit grower. Julian's a nurseryman.
Right.
Julian produces trees. So Julian, the more
I have a collection. I have like almost 40 varieties.
the more variety
On my
you have,
property.
the more trees you can sell because
Right.
you'll graft them, right? For me, as long as I have one or two earlies, one or two mids, and one or two lates, it's kind of silly for me to have a lot of variety.
But you do have a lot of.
I do, well, because of the content creation and because my retail business has gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm selling to a packing house who
Right.
then sells to Publix and Kroger and Walmart and
You
what
need
have
some
you,
uniformity.
I got to send them 12,000 pounds of choquette. I got to send them 12,000 pounds of Monroe. And I tell my guys, send 12 bins, and while we're picking, pick a bin for me for my retail, and that's what I load up.
Right.
I just can't go out in the yard with a basket and pick 2 of these and 2 of those because I just don't have that kind of variety.
Well,
Right,
something extremely important that I've been waiting all week to say on this stream is
Yeah.
people are asking me which varieties with an S should they get. And to Tom's point, like Julian is selling these or he has different varieties for different reasons. He wants to introduce avocados to market. But if you have a yard, even if you have a small yard and you're using avocados for food, 3 trees, because unlike mangoes where you could eat a lot of mangoes in one sitting, you're only going to maybe even eat one, if not even one of these. You're never going to eat all the avocados on your tree. So if you're not selling them and you're using them for your own good, one early season, one mid-season, and one late season, 3 trees is all you need.
Yeah.
Now, if you're worried that they might be off-season or they might be a semi-annual, then get 2 of each. But I don't think any personal person that's using it for their own diet should have or need more than 6 at most, but 3 would be sufficient. Now, if you want all these different varieties, my suggestion would be to multi-graft a tree beyond the ones that are covering your first 3. So I have like 3 avocados for each season, 3 trees, and then I put extra ones in case there's a year that one doesn't produce.
Mm-hmm.
But it wouldn't be wise for me to have 3 or 4 trees for one season. So
Yeah, the same for me as a commercial grower. Completely different for you, Julian, who you need the variety so people could buy the different trees.
Well, people ask for a whole rainbow of different kind of varieties.
Yeah.
So I got to have them all.
Yeah.
And but it's a really cool thing to be able to have all these varieties,
now,
and people just flock over.
where do you rate this tonnage?
I like it.
Okay.
I have it as a good one. How about you?
Compared to all of the mango avocados that we've tasted or we're gonna taste, it's not on my radar as a good
No, it's
avocado.
not great. It's good, not great. Actually, that one might have been a little.
That
one might have been a little early.
And that's another thing too. When you
Yeah, I got
taste
this
an avocado, sometimes you might not like it, but then you'll taste another one. It depends when they're picked and several other factors. So just because you don't like one, always try it again and again.
And
Right.
Paul, I ain't trying to sell you on it, or I'm just as an experiment. This one's a lot softer. Let's see if it tastes different. Or did it taste the same?
I think the same.
About the same. And there is a wateriness to them.
Yeah.
There's a wateriness to the tonnage.
Yeah, it tastes good though. It has a nice,
I like it. I like it.
oily flavor to
Yeah.
it. God, I lost the name on this one.
Definitely
Try
has.
this.
VW.
Oh, that's a VW.
Yeah.
Has a firmer skin. You wouldn't be able to eat this skin.
Let's try the VW next.
Let's do it. Here. Cut it up for me.
All right.
Yeah, if somebody was asking me like what ones to get, unless tonnage wouldn't be at the top of the list.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then there's interesting ones like Monroe, which Tom grows a lot of.
Oh, look at that.
I've tasted Monroes that were absolutely watery and not good. Then I taste some that were out of this world.
Yeah.
So they're not consistent, but they are when they're great. They're great.
Cheers.
So what's
This is a nice firm one.
What's this one? A VW?
VW.
Wow. Okay, now look at the difference too. We say it all the time, but
This one was ripe like 2 days ago.
yeah,
And it's still firm.
It's still firm, like a Miguel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at how nice and yellow the flesh is versus this flesh is a little more pale, a little more like a Hass. This is more like a tropical, a nice yellow that pops.
This is good. I like the texture. It's very firm and dense.
Very firm. Reminds me of a pollock.
Mm-hmm.
If I was eating this,
Mm-hmm.
I would think it's not ripe, and I don't think it's good compared to the others.
Okay.
That's
but
just
hold on.
my opinion, but I don't think it's
Yeah.
ripe.
There's not a
or
lot of
good.
flavor though. It's dense like crazy, but not a lot of flavor.
Right. You're right. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
It's mild.
But it's right up my alley being this dense.
Well,
But now I'm not getting anything else.
this would be nice in a salad, like you
Sushi.
could bite into it, or in a sushi in a little cube form. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's try this Gilberto.
The what?
Gilberto.
Let's try it.
Gilberto.
So this avocado, before I even bite it, I mean, hopefully it'll look better, taste better than it looks, because it looks like it has a look of a watery avocado.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
hopefully
yeah.
it'll taste better.
I follow you.
And I've been surprised by some, but
I like it. Ooh, I like it. I like it. A thinner skin, a papery skin.
all right,
Yeah.
here we go.
I give it a 7.6.
There's a sweetness to it.
Mhm.
This is called Gilberto.
Mhm.
I like it.
It's a lot better than the last two.
It's a lot better than VW.
Mm-hmm.
A lot better than tonnage.
Yeah, VW was a little bland.
Yeah.
But still, it's good.
I think this is good.
7.6. 7.6 for me.
Yeah.
But we've had a lot better.
Mm-hmm. So we mentioned this. In addition to trying these different varieties, I think that Paul always suggests that you try your varieties yourselves. Don't just take it from us. But we did put in the title that, this would be about how to start your own little backyard avocado growing paradise, right?
Yep.
Some people call it a garden. Some people call it a food forest. Some people don't call it anything. They just grow some fruit trees, right? And Paul, you hit on something a second ago. How many avocado trees do I really need? And if you're just eating them and feeding your family, maybe bringing a few into work, giving away, I agree with Paul. One early, one mid, one late. 2 at the most of each.
Let's say Simmons for early.
Mm-hmm.
Miguel for mid-season. Choquette or Campong
Mm-hmm.
for late season.
Mm-hmm.
And then Apmay for that
Really early.
really early.
I don't know about the Choquette. To me, like the Monroe, it's like inconsistent. Sometimes it's really good, but if you get them too early, they're watery.
I pick them historically. I've always picked them December, January.
Yeah, Dupuy is a nice early one.
Mm-hmm.
Catalina's a nice mid-season. Besides Miguel, Catalina's nice.
Well, I'll tell you what. If there's one thing the Black Prince variety has taught me, where is it? Right here, I got one. Well, I don't want to cause my whole thing to topple down back. So this right here is a Black Prince variety avocado.
Right.
I get more texts and phone calls about this than any other variety.
Yeah.
And it's on both sides of the spectrum.
Really?
They hate them
Oh.
or they love them and want more.
Really?
Hate them or love them and want more. Yeah, it's the most polarizing avocado in my collection. I have people who specifically ask for Black Prince. They wait for them. And then I had a guy recently specifically ask me for Black Prince and then scolded me about he didn't like the taste. And I'm like, well, what can I tell you?
You got what you asked.
You asked for Black Prince. But I wish I had one ripe so we could kind of, explore it ourselves.
Right. Rate it.
But my point being that in anything, taste is subjective. But those of us that have been doing this and talk to people about fruit all the time know, like for fruit especially so. There are certain varieties people love, other people hate, which means you got to taste your own, But definitely try to have early, mid, and late.
Right.
Also try to have a mix of flowering type A and flowering type B if you can. And you don't need to understand what that means. Just understand that there's flowering type A's and flowering type B's. The B's pollinate the A's pollinate the B's. You don't have to have a mix of A's and B's because avocados will self-pollinate, but it's better if you do. It'll improve pollination.
Or there's someone in the neighborhood that has a B type
nearby.
Now, what if they're not the same season? So if you have an early season A and a late season B, does that make any effect on them?
No. Mine all flower at the same time. Now that one variety might start a little earlier, but there's a sweet spot where every one of my trees is flowering at the same time. Early, late. And what's crazy is they're flowering at the same time. They're getting pollinated at the same time, and then all of a sudden, what was once a teeny tiny Simmons, 2-3 rainstorms, I walk out in the grove, boom, there's this huge avocado. Yet the lates are still growing kind of linear.
Correct.
You know?
Correct.
And now that we're getting into choquette season, same thing with my choquettes. They were tiny. You walk out there now, boom, they're sizing up.
No.
That was one thing is early, mid, and late. Next thing would be flowering type A and B. Next thing would be like, taste as many as you can and figure out which ones you like. And Paul, what's your advice about tasting fruit? Always
taste it more than once.
Always
Because
taste
if
it
you
more
taste
than
it one time, it's not a true test. You got to taste it and try to taste it another time from a different place even.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep.
Now, I have to mention something about late season avocados since you were mentioning what you recommended.
Yeah.
My favorite late season avocado might be Campong. And Oro Negro is a great tasting late season avocado, but this year I've been disappointed because it didn't give me as much as it has years past. And I've heard that there could be production issues with the Oro Negro. It's a great tree. I still have more than enough for myself, but I even heard the Campong might be a multi-year tree. Some years on, some years off. But this year I was disappointed with that. I'm looking forward to tasting them. My Ronnie that I got from you is loaded. It's the first year and it's loaded.
Yeah.
And I just had a Maria Black, which is mid-season. But late season avocados, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, the most avocados in one season for Florida, late season would have more avocados than early and mid. Is that true or no?
You mean like production wise?
Okay, so are there more varieties late than there are early? That's a good question. I mean, the last time we were here, we had a full table of pretty much early avocados. And late season, it's just Choquette, Campong, Brooks Late, Ronnie. Monroe is kind of a November, December avocado. I'm talking about after December. So let's say in January you can have Choquette, maybe Monroe, Campong, Brooks Late, Ronnie. That's it. That's 5 varieties.
I mean, there's more that we're not thinking of, but
Well, Lima Late, that's 6.
There's Hall, Lula.
Well, Hall and Lula is more of a mid-season.
Transitional. Yeah. October. Yeah.
We're talking about, let's say January.
You're talking
after
winter.
January.
Winter.
Yeah, after
Okay.
January, yeah, winter.
Well, I know this, Paul. I don't know as far as like cultivar variety, but I know as far as supply goes, the supply of late seasons is lower, and therefore the price is higher. So why not plant late seasons and make more money as a farmer? There's an answer to that. Hurricanes. I got a bunch of Simmons. My trees are clean. My fruit's at market. My checks are in the bank before hurricane season.
Before hurricane season. Yeah. So you got that option to have a harvest before hurricane season.
Yeah.
Or after.
Right. But you're going to get a little bit of a lower price, right?
Right.
Now,
well, the earlier the is, the more money you get.
That's different.
That's where Apmay comes in.
Yeah, that's a different story because that's
Donnie. That's why
season.
Donnie had the hype because he came in before Simmons.
Right.
And people were getting buco bucks for Donnie.
But then all of a sudden the week hits where the Simmons are ready, the Miguel's are ready, the price tanks, right?
Well, as soon as the DR started shipping avocados, Donnie's went.
Yeah, and so here's what happens to me. Then I got my mids that are doing good. Then the first couple weeks of Choquette, I'm doing good. Then as soon as that container ship arrives from Dominican Republic,
it drops.
Price goes to half, right? And so, but that said, the late season gamble is you get a higher price, but you could lose your crop to a hurricane. And it doesn't even have to be a devastating hurricane. It doesn't
be a Category 1.
It could be a Category 1 in dang Naples, But if we get enough wind over here
It'll
that
knock
just
down.
rubs the fruit together, knocks them down, they get scarred. And so
That's a lot to have your mind on. It's a lot
It
of
is.
things. It's a lot of things to have your mind on.
It is. I'm not. When I look at a hurricane coming, first of all, there's no evacuating for us because it's easier for us to dig out than dig back in. I got all my gas, I got all my tools, my chainsaws there, and I'd rather be stuck in my house than stuck on the street, right?
Yeah.
But you sit here and it's just crack, 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 and just thousands of dollars of fruit falling.
Yeah.
The upside is you get a little bit of a better price. So in terms of diversity, Paul, I don't know, whether there's more or less late. As far as supply, I know more people tend to have the earlies. Yeah.
All right, so let's try Walden.
Okay.
Well, to that, we got to take into account California because they have their avocado seasons and their avocados.
They do, but the Hass availability doesn't affect our price. Our market is a little different. Yeah.
And then we didn't discuss the difference between Hass from Mexico and Hass from California.
Yeah.
Price-wise and everything. Because I know a couple years ago when they said they were going to not import avocados from California.
From Mexico.
From Mexico, yeah.
The price went up for the California. Yeah, when the U.S. Department of Agriculture was beefing with the cartels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That would be a good thing for both of you, right? If they stop.
If it's not from the DR,
If they
Mexico,
do it from Dominican Republic, not so much. Mexico ain't going to help me much. But if something happened in DR, yeah, I'm going to have insane prices.
Homestead used to supply the entire North American continent with avocados.
That's pretty good. What is that one?
Walden.
Walden's nice. Best one today so far. A lot of fat. A lot of
oil.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let me have.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Mm-hmm. That's a nice avocado flavor right there. Really good.
Walden, and there's another one called Trap, which has been lost.
Really?
I think the only person that might have it is Richard Campbell because that was his dad's favorite avocado. And I know that because I went to one of his talks.
TRAP or TRAPP?
Yeah, PP.
Wow.
But that one's gone. I don't know anybody who has that.
Yeah.
All right, this is the Pahokee Red. It has like a Native American name to it, Pahokee.
Oh, that looks nice. It looks a little like a Simmons.
It looks like my purple Simmons.
It does.
My Lara.
Very thin
my
skin.
Lara purple, yeah.
Sweetness to it.
Wow, another skin you can eat.
Sweetness to it.
Oh yeah. Where am I now? Let me cut a slice for Noe.
Oh man.
Dense. Very good avocado.
This might be my avocado because it looks identical.
It does. It really does.
And it tastes maybe a mislabeled.
I thought it was yours, and I got excited.
Which one did you think it is?
The Lara
purple.
Yeah.
It looks just like it. I mean, this is a truck. It's delicious.
Nice. So if somebody's looking to get that, Lara Purple.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
That's one of my favorites. That and the Russell are my two favorites of the day so far. They're good.
All right, Hialeah Red. This is the best Hialeah Red I've ever had in my life.
Really? Okay.
Usually they're on the watery side. I always find them, but for this one, it is just phenomenal.
Oh, it's good. That's good. Now, that's funny because you sold me my Hialeah Red tree 2 years ago.
Right.
I got some fruit this year, but it dropped. It's still a small tree. No problem at all with that. But you set my expectation that while it's cool and pretty to have red avocados, you're like, it's not going to blow your mind. It's not necessarily the best avocado you ever tasted. That's pretty dang good, dude.
It's the best I've ever had.
That's pretty dang good.
Amazing.
And I can't wait till they start coming in.
Wow. But yeah, I thought this was pretty unique, so that's why I took the trouble of getting budwood and grafting it and planting it in my collection.
Yeah. You've tried the Brogdon, right, Paul?
I have. I have. The Brogdon tastes great, but it's not one I'd recommend if you don't have a lot of room because the seed is so big and the amount of flesh you get is so little. So it's a great avocado. You can eat the skin.
Yeah.
But
Stick on there.
But not necessarily one I'd recommend.
These are definitely like a specialty variety. These and the Russells actually get a higher price in the market. And it's more like a specialty variety.
Doesn't have a lot of flavor. Try this one.
That last one wasn't too ripe.
Oh no, that wasn't. Yeah, that one's not ripe enough. Yep, that one
Try
wasn't
this
ripe
one.
enough.
This one, same thing.
Okay.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah, these were picked off the tree.
This one's better, but also, yeah, probably needs another day or two. That said, not a big deal for me because I know what the Brogdon tastes like. And I love it. I mean, I could look anyone in the eye and recommend a Brogdon. No, this is the one you can eat the skin. Now, this, maybe we picked it, or we chose to eat it like a day or so early.
Let's try this Peterson.
That one I never heard of.
Yeah, me either.
Is the night my grandmother died. It's also the day Frank Sinatra died. What is this?
Peterson.
That's good.
Yeah, the consistency's there.
What?
I like it.
That's absolutely terrible.
Well, Paul, you and I never agree on food.
Now, come on, that's not good.
Mm-hmm. No,
I like the last one.
The booth I couldn't really get through. I'd have to force myself to finish that. This I'll enjoy the whole damn.
The whole slice?
The whole slice, man.
Man versus avocado.
Mm-hmm. I'm way easier to please than Paul. I got a lower bar.
What kind is this?
It says Lara Pollock on Trek, but it looks like a regular Pollock. I think they made up mislabeled this one.
Okay.
This is the Pollock. Absolutely wonderful. Best one today that we've tasted.
Yeah.
This is great. It has a pasty taste, not watery at all. Filling. Pollock and Laura Pollock are excellent.
I love the Pollock.
But the
Pollock?
Laura Pollock's more productive according to Julian.
Oh, this is the Lara Pollock. I haven't tried this.
This is a mid-season, right?
Yeah, mid-season.
You know,
I like Pollock.
The production is questionable. See, Julian says it's okay. The Pollock doesn't do amazing, but
that is good.
Alex at Tropical Acres says his Pollock doesn't fruit as well. So
needs to get a Lara Pollock.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of Pollocks. They do fine. Mine fruit well.
But that's the best one we've tasted today, in my opinion.
This is right up there with that Russell we just had. This is delicious. What do we have here?
Niagara.
Never heard of it.
Niagara.
Is this one you know of or found it at the collection?
Found it at the collection.
So it was a first for all of us.
It's the first for all of us.
Whoa. That's different. Ooh, that's different.
Yeah?
Tastes like peanuts.
Oh. Peanut oil?
Yeah. Mmm. Ooh, that's dense. That's rich.
Nice.
I don't think I could eat a whole one. That's too rich for me. That's good though. Mm-hmm.
Very smooth and watery. But we're gonna try this one. This is the seedling.
Okay,
from
fantastic.
Trek that no one's ever tried before.
Fantastic.
Here.
Thank you. So this is a seedling variety. So when you hear us talk about a seedling variety, and again, I apologize for people who know this stuff, but remember, there's always new people and always people who want to learn. So we're not trying to insult anybody's intelligence. We're just trying to educate. When we use the term seedling variety, we're talking about an unnamed variety of fruit grown from seed, which takes an average of 10 years to produce the first fruit. And as far as what Julian just told us earlier, this is the first time a human being has ever tasted fruit from this tree.
Right.
If you like that, I might have to leave, Tom.
It's grassy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you get the it tastes like leaves. Yeah, not that.
There's
great.
a reason often
It's
why.
not that great.
If we have an unpopular variety here,
Not that
sometimes you might find something amazing like the Apmay, but there's usually a reason why it's not well known. It's usually not that great, but sometimes you get a surprise. But some of these things you haven't heard of before, there's a reason why.
Yeah.
If this was a phenomenal, I'm sure more people would have named it and heard of it. But
Yeah,
well, it's the first year it made fruit.
Well,
no one's ever heard of it before.
It's a good top war candidate.
It's a good top
Yeah,
war candidate.
and that's why we farmers don't grow our trees from seed. Not only does it take too long, but you don't know what you're going to get, and it would be horrible to wait to plant 50 trees and get 50 fruit that tastes roughly like this one. You're not going to sell a single one.
Can't overwater it. You have to water it as needed.
This is gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
What is this one?
Tito. It's okay.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
That's a very pretty looking avocado,
sweet.
though.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Sweetener.
Yeah, it's sweet, different texture. I like it.
So what one is this one?
Tie number 1.
Tie number 1.
And it has a small seed to flesh ratio. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the thickness of the spear here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a very small seed compared to the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
Action and traction
What do you
in
think,
like
Bob?
the mango community.
Thumbs down?
Thumbs down.
I like it.
I thought it was pretty good.
I'd put salt on this, but I like it.
All right, everybody. I love avocados, and I love that you can have a tree and keep it small and still get fruit. And they're just a wonderful tree all around. Multi-grafting a tree is pretty easy, and I hope a lot of your questions were answered in this video by Julian and Tom. They are the avocado masters when it comes to growing Florida avocados. So I'm so glad I know them. There are links up below if you want to order avocados. And for me and my house, we shall eat this Catalina avocado with joy. Have a great day, everybody, and keep growing. If you want to see more videos about avocados and the different seasons and how they taste, plus many other tropical fruits, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Fruitful Trees. Thank you, and keep growing.